So the live action Lilo and Stitch movie is actually pretty good. There's some differences between that and the animated movie. I still think the animated movie is a little bit better, but I actually really liked the live action Lilo and Stitch. I had a lot of fun with it. So let's go ahead and discuss what we liked. So this movie is a little bit different than the animated movie in the terms of some of the characters. For instance, we don't have Captain Gantu. Jumba is kind of a different character. And then we have a different social worker character, so we do something different with Cobra Bubbles. And then we have, I think it's David's grandma or something. She's also a cool character. And then we kind of changed the ending a little bit. So there are a lot of differences here, but there's also like a lot of like just like shot for shot like remakes and lines from the animated movie that I think really looked great and translated really well, and it kind of gets you a little excited, and I really enjoyed all of that as well. Let's go ahead and talk about the things that I did like. I actually really did like the ending, kind of changing up the ending. It made a little bit more sense for the character, I think. I think adding like an actual social worker, it always kind of was a little weird. Like, why was Cobra Bubble some random social worker on like a small island in Hawaii? That always felt a little bit weird. So I actually kind of think they did a good job here, because it makes a little bit more sense as to why he's actually looking for Stitch. He happens to find Stitch with the family who needs a social worker, whereas in the animated movie, he wasn't looking for Stitch. He just happens to be their social worker, but then also he happens to have experience with the aliens, so it just kind of worked out. So I think the live action movie did a pretty good job in explaining all of that. And I liked the ending because I think it really gave a lot of hope for the Nani character, and that she wasn't just going to be like stuck taking care of her little sister forever and like these dead end jobs all the time. And I think and in the end, it's better for both of their futures, really. And then plus she kept the portal gun, so she can still see Lilo whenever she wants. So I think that just kind of made the ending a little bit better and a little bit more hopeful for the character. And then Lilo can go stay with David and his grandma, or whatever her name is. We're always cruising around on her little ATV. I thought she was a cool character. I like that actress. So I kind of liked that. And I do like what they did with Cobra Bubbles. Like, he was firstly a CIA agent, and then he goes undercover as the social worker. I thought that made just a little bit more sense. I really love the little girl playing Lilo, and I love the actress playing Nani. I thought they had really good chemistry. Lilo was adorable, and her interactions with Stitch were great. I think she did a great job. I like that they kind of incorporated the Elvis thing a little bit. They didn't overdo it like the animated movie, but it's definitely there for sure, and I do like that still. And I like what they did with Stitch. There's a lot of the same stuff from the animated movie, but there's a couple stuff that are different, and it's still very chaotic, and I really like that. So what I didn't like is I didn't really care for Zach Galifianakis as Jumba. Jumba in the anime movie just comes off as this like crazy Russian mad scientist character who's like slightly unhinged, but is also kind of a genius. And I don't get any of that. Like, I kind of liked him when he was not Zach Galifianakis in the end, and he was in his alien form. He was a little bit better, because then he was kind of mad scientist a little bit. But I just didn't really think Zach Galifianakis did a great job in being Jumba, and I really think he needed that Russian accent to just kind of keep him a little bit unhinged. Like, you kind of don't know what he's saying a little bit. I thought Billy Magnuson did fine as Pleakley, except for, I think he did fine. It's just kind of like, he's not the type of person you would expect to play Pleakley, I guess. But I think he did fine. I think if Jumba had been better, he would have been a stronger character, maybe. So, I actually like the actress who voices the councilwoman. I forget the actress' name, but I really like her. And she sounded almost exactly like the animated movie. And I just really like that touch. I just thought it probably a little bit of consistency. Like, it really just felt like the same character just come to life. And I really like that. I do wish we had Captain Gantu here, but they kind of just gave his role to Jumba, which again, I didn't really care for Jumba, so that, whatever. I really liked David, and I think his grandma. And so I liked David and his interactions, and, I did think it was a little, interesting. There's a little joke, there's a couple little jokes with involving David. He kind of like is talking to Nani. He's like fumbling around with his words, and at one point, that he's talking about surfing, and he says, "I miss shredding you," and I thought that was a little risque for a children's movie. I'm not really sure, but it was super hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. Obviously, the kids probably aren't gonna have any idea, but I thought that was funny. And then Lilo does, say the line of, she likes your fancy hair and your butt. Except for in the animated movie, she was reading her diary, and in here, which makes sense, somebody would maybe write that in their diary. But here, she said she read her text messages, and I'm thinking, like, who's Nani sending text message to about David's butt? So just a couple little things there with David that are, maybe go over the kid's head and maybe a little inappropriate. But I thought they were fun. So, as an adult now. So yeah, I liked David. I don't know if it's his grandma. I think it's his grandma, but it's Nani's neighbor. And anyway, she's really fun too. And so yeah, this movie wasn't great. I think it was definitely one of the better live action movies. I definitely could see myself rewatching this one because it is pretty close to the animated movie in terms of the fun and the Hawaiian style, which I really enjoy. And so it's not the best. Like I said, I wish Jumbo was a little bit better and everything, but it was really fun. Disney did a good job remaking this one, and I think it worked actually pretty well in live action because there are a lot of human characters. And so I think it was maybe one of the better ideas. It's mostly just Stitch and the aliens that are CGI. And so I think that's why it translates maybe a little bit better. And I think they did a great job really on the Stitch. He looks so adorable. He looks real. He looks fuzzy. He looks so cute. And again, just the interactions with Lilo I thought just were perfect. And I like some of the little changes they made, like, the ice cream cone guy and like the little bullies that she has, the little girls that are bullying her. I like some of those little changes. And I think we get even a little bit more about their parents, which I think is a really good addition to the movie as well. I'm going to have to actually watch this again because I think there's a lot of little stuff, little Easter eggs to pick up on. And so that's part of the fun of it. So, yeah, I thought Disney did a good job with this remake. It's one of the better ones. I had a lot of fun with it. So let's go over the Rotten Tomatoes score and the box office results real quick. The Rotten Tomatoes score for Lilo and Stitch is actually 72%. So the critics mostly pretty much liked it, which is actually pretty good for the live-action remakes. And the audience score is actually 92%. So audiences really love this movie. And I think we know why, because this movie is actually quite a lot of fun. It does remind you of the animated movie. Stitch and the girl are really cute, despite some of the things we didn't like. It's still actually a pretty fun movie. And then the box office, it actually made $423 million domestically, $612 internationally, which is really big international. And so it made over $1 billion for the worldwide. So this movie made a ton of money. And there are several Lilo and Stitch straight-to-video movies and a TV series, so there's plenty of material they could look to if they want to do a sequel. So this probably will be one of the few live-action Disney remakes to probably get a sequel because it did do so well and is so charming. So it's a really good Rotten Tomatoes and box office number for this movie. Let me know what you guys think. Did you guys really like the new live-action Lilo and Stitch? Did you guys maybe not like it? You just can't get over the ending? So leave your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm doing the live-action Disney remakes. I do some Marvel content. And check out my shorts if you like K-pop Demon Hunters. So thank you all for watching, and until next time, Ohana means family. Bye.